All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. What day of the week is it? Man, oh man, we got so many things happening. I have some stuff I want to drop with you today. I'm hoping it will give you some massive value because, you know, I talk a lot about mindset because I really do believe it's the number one thing that's going to drive your business, your life, your relationship, everything out there. But it's equally important to me that I give you massive value that's practical, that you could use in your business and things like that. So I want to talk to you today about some resources, things that I use on a day-to-day basis in my business that help me to give an edge on a lot of people out there. So before I do that, let's go to the Daily Mastermind quote of the day in the mobile app. And this is from Dale Carnegie. Awesome. I haven't even had time to look at the quote today, so I'm excited about this. You never achieve real success unless you like what you're doing. This is Dale Carnegie saying you never achieve real success unless you like what you're doing. I love that. I love that quote, and I totally agree with it. It goes right in line with what my partner Robert talks about with identifying your unique talent. So let's talk about exactly, I'm going to give you like 4 or 5, maybe 6 tools that I use, very practical tools I use in my business right now, and there are things that allow me to save a ton of money, get a lot of things done. And before I give you these, I want to give you some tips and things to consider what these tools can do for you. Number one, I want you to think about for yourself how you can be more resourceful. See, that's a unique talent and a strength in and of itself. And when I say unique talent, I mean this is one you can actually pick up, and that is being resourceful is a massive strength for you in your business and in life. Be the person that can always find a solution. Another thing I wanted to say is give yourself credit. So many of us, look, I don't even have the option of saying I don't know anymore. It's too easy to find things out and learn and grow with Google and how fast-paced life is. Give yourself credit on what you can pick up and learn quickly. Also, I want to tell you that you need to stay inside your lane of your unique talent. I've made the mistake many times that I learned something, how to do something, and then I spend a lot of time doing it when it really isn't a productive use of my time. In other words, if you know what your value is in the marketplace or what you want it to be, don't be doing things that are far less value. Don't be doing things you can pay someone else to do. Don't get outside your unique talent just because you've learned a skill. And I want you to keep that in mind as I give you some of these tools, because some of you might go down the rabbit hole and start doing a lot of stuff with this and getting a lot of value, but it's still not going to give you your value in the marketplace that you deserve. Another thing is, as I give you these tools, I want you to remember as you're doing things in your business not to get caught up in the detail. One of the things my partner Robert talks a lot about is let's just make progress. Find a way to move the ball forward. I'd rather be perfecting along the way than trying to come up with the perfect thing before we move forward. So remember, forward progress is the key, not perfection, right? So these are some tools that I use every single day, and I want you to listen to me here because they may be tools that you've heard before or you've seen, but I want you to think about how I apply them. Number one, and probably the one I use almost daily, is Canva, C-A-N-V-A, Canva, canva.com. This is a program I used to spend, and I still do on certain things. I used to spend $60, $100, $150 an hour for designers, web designers, brochure designers, all these individuals, and because of the talent. But a lot of the talent you need right now, you can get inside Canva inside for design. Let me give you some examples. I will create pictures, I'll create images, I'll create PowerPoint presentations, I'll create flyers, I'll create background images, I'll do recordings, I'll put my PowerPoint presentations in there, and I can actually record the presentation, stream it live on a site with a unique link, all inside Canva without needing a designer, a techie, anything like that. I've been able to create next-level brochures, signs, diagrams, infographics. They have templates in there so that you could say, you know what, I want to create a poster for an event. And you can search poster for an event, and it'll come up with 100 or 1,000 different examples, and you can just change the words on it. I can create social media reels, format sizes, posts, cover photos, thumbnails. I can take any picture and drag it in there and eliminate the background. I can change the background. I can change the size. Another reason I like Canva is if you have a business or you're working with partners with business, you can upload, if you subscribe, I have the Pro service, which is only $14.95, but you get certain folders and branding, so I can upload my logos and colors so that you don't have to know the pixels and the colors. Every time I create a design, it automatically uses the right fonts, the right size fonts, the right branding, and so you can have branding files in there. You can share it with team members. Canva is something that has literally saved me thousands of dollars, and it looks like a multi-million-dollar brand by using it. So that's one tool. My goodness, I don't know if I'm going to have time to give you all these tools. Another one I use is Evernote. Evernote is something I use on my Mac. It's something I do every single note I ever do in, because I can put them in notebooks and categories and tag them. So if I happen to be saying, man, I'm doing stuff with the Life Handbook with Robert Stuberg, I can just search for Life Handbook, and any note I've ever made, any category, any meeting, it's all in there. And I use Evernote for all of my notes for meetings with partners, meetings with individuals, and I can always reference it. Another thing I use, which I'm not going to get into a lot of detail, is Zoom. But what I was going to mention to you with Zoom that's really important if you're doing recordings or podcasts. I'll even use Zoom because I can stream live to Facebook and YouTube and things simultaneously. But I also use it because it'll get me transcripts, and it'll give me editing, and it'll record separate video footage of my screen share as well as my camera. Now understand that Zoom you can get for free. You just are limited to a 40-minute meeting or less, and if you pay a little more, you can get longer meetings. But I use that to schedule, and we've moved our platform from some of our events from online platforms like GoToMeeting and GoToWebinar to Zoom, and there's an intangible because we automatically have had massive referrals. Our events have gone from 200 people to 1,000 people for an online event because someone can just quickly and easily share a Zoom link. So Zoom is a really, really great tool, and you can use it for free for online recordings, podcasts. You can stream it you can save it to the cloud or save it to your desktop. Another really cool, unique tool, I mentioned it a couple weeks back, is YouTube. Now, we think about uploading videos to YouTube, but did you know that YouTube will automatically create, for most videos, a transcript? It'll create closed caption. You can create playlists. So for example, if you wanted to go to a video that was out there online and kind of see what they were saying, all you got to do is go over and select the transcript, and you can actually copy and paste the transcript of that entire video into a Word document so you can look at it. That's something I use a lot of times with competitors when I'm writing marketing copy and things, because I can copy that. Another great example is I'm doing all of these videos lately for a health and wellness company that also has a lot of foreign distributors like Chinese. And we used to have to create subtitles and translate and all that. And now all we have to do is upload a video to YouTube, and they can go in and select closed caption, translate in one of 30 different languages, and they can stream it in any language in subtitles without us having to do a single thing. So there's so many tools out there that you can use. I want you to be aware of this, and if you're not out there doing it, you need to. So we've got Canva, we've got Evernote, we've got Zoom, we've got YouTube. Another one is Fiverr. Now, Fiverr is for sure one of the greatest tools that I've ever had out there, because Fiverr, it's spelled Fiverr.com. Fiverr is sort of a freelance marketplace where anyone with a talent, if you have a talent and you want to list yourself on Fiverr, people can come to you to do work on the side, like side hustle, but it's also a source for staffing. I've been able to create all kinds of things without having to hire overhead and employees, because if I need to do a brochure or a video or a script, or I need to do a presentation, or I need to do branding, or I got to get a video, there's so many things you can do, and you can find any skill, talent, and resource you want in there. And the reason it's called Fiverr is they started by saying these individuals on the side will do something for $5. Now, I know it sounds too good to be true, but I can't tell you how many things I've gotten done for $5, $10, $20 that I would have normally spent hundreds, maybe even thousands for, because these people are operating inside their unique talent. They have things already formatted and pre-set up, and they're quicker and faster at it than the average person. So what I use Fiverr for, and this is the part I wanted to kind of give you as an extra little tip, is I use it to get ideas and creativity. So let's say, for example, I wanted to create flyers for an event. I'll go into Fiverr and I'll just type in, I'm looking for someone to create flyers for an event. And you can get specific and say flyers for a health event, flyers for a financial event. And all these people will come up and you'll see all the types of work they do. And so it'll help you to narrow it down. And I always go with pro services and I always go with best rated so that you can sort through quickly. But you can also find that you'll see their things and it'll give you creative ideas and thoughts. And sometimes I'll just go in there just simply to look at different designs on a big page full of searches, and it'll give me ideas and creativity to create things that I need to do. So it's a great source of inspiration, but it's also something that'll help you to save a ton of time and a ton of money. But here's the key. Listen to me carefully on this one. You've got to be very specific with what you want. So I always recommend, if there's a project or a thing you want to do, get very, very specific about what you want and then go look, because you can very quickly go down the rabbit hole. Let's say, for example, I wanted to do a brochure on some nutrition products. If I went in there and started searching, I could find all kinds of thousands of people. But what I try to do is I try to get really specific so that when I do find someone, I can be specific with them. Because when you project manage virtually, you've got to be very specific or you'll spend more time going back and forth. So I would narrow it down and say, here are the two products. What's the goal? The goal is I want this brochure to help people buy the product. And I want a 2-page brochure or a trifold brochure. And sometimes I'll even go into Canva, because you can type in trifold brochure and it'll give you all these examples and templates that all you got to do is tweak. But if I really need that skill and talent, I'll go to Fiverr. And so it might be, here's the specific products, this is the goal, it's a trifold, I have some ideas of what I want to be in it, but I need it to do this, this, and this, and I'm looking for it for $10. And what'll happen with Fiverr is you'll get certain things for that much money, and then if you want more digital copy or more revisions or things like that, it could go $20, $30. I mean, you could spend up to hundreds of dollars, but you can kind of pick and choose what you want. But Fiverr is a great tool. So here's the thing. I'm going to leave you with one thing, so I'm way over here. In fact, we might have to continue this tomorrow. I've got 2 or 3 more tools that I want to do with you, but I want to give you these things, and I want you to spend some time. I promise you that if you'll go back and just Google and spend some time with Canva or Evernote or Zoom or YouTube or Repurpose, I didn't mention Repurpose, I'll do that tomorrow, or Fiverr, these are tools that you can use to 100 times your productivity, cut your costs to nothing, and you will look like a freaking rock star when you use these tools, and it will blow your mind. Every single time I've had people, I've shown them some of these tools, they've come back and just been blown away. Sometimes I feel like I'm giving away all the secret sauce, but I had a gentleman the other day that I showed him how to do a flyer in Canva, and he found out he could just drop a QR code on there and put music in the background and put a whole bunch of different fonts, and then he can just use this flyer and email text it to people, and it blew up his response. So there's so many reasons I give you this, and I know this is a lot of information. You might want to go back through this podcast, but I want to give you practical stuff that can take things to the next level. So I'm going to draw you back again, even though we're way over. Be resourceful. Give yourself credit for being able to learn. Stay inside your talent. Don't get caught up in the details of trying to be perfect with everything, and start moving forward and keep the ball moving forward. That's my podcast for today. I hope it gave you a lot of tangible, practical ways that you can use it in your business. And I'd love it. It would mean the world to me if you'd share this podcast with others. And I'll look forward to talking with you more tomorrow. And I'll finish sharing some of the tools and resources I have and give you a couple of really good strategies on how to effectively use these tools. Because the key, the devil is in the detail, right? So once again, this is George Wright III. This has been the Daily Mastermind. Have a great day.